Hi everybody! Thanks for stopping by to check out the latest from Sailing Emerald Steel. In this video we're going to be sharing with you the latest project that Jules and I have been working on lately. And as usual, before we get started, we'd like to thank all of you that took the time to leave a comment and a thumb up on our last video.
So, time has come and you had to face reality. And the reality was this, then when we stopped in Canada and I found a good place for sandblasting our boat,
Just putting on our first coat of bottom paint after doing 4 coats of Pet It Protect epoxy 2-part epoxy primer.
we were all happy that the job turned out to be good. We didn't have much of a damage to our exterior plating, and actually everything looked pretty nice. But as you probably know, steel boats rust from inside, and the time has come that we should inspect how everything looks and what shape it is, because we are planning for another long voyage and we would like to know very much in what condition our boat is. So in this video we will show it to you as we take a boat apart and
what we discovered.
Yes.
So now Jules is going to remove the floorboards in our galley here next to the engine. We purposely didn't fill in these holes so we could remove the floorboards whenever we want to check out our steel and see how everything's going.
Here we got a little water coming from the chimney where the stove is, so we got a little bit of rust, but to think that they are core range of plating.
After using the pitter and sanding it down, we wiped it with muriatic acid. Then we wiped it with fresh water. Now we're going to be priming it with some 2-part epoxy. Sailing's not all fun and games, folks. There's a little bit of work to be done too.
But she also wiped it with acetone as a final thing.
Oh, I forgot. Wiped it with acetone too.
Not bad for 30 plus years. This blue paint you see it is actually original primer, and we sent some of the white finish paint off. So now after Susan put a couple coats of the primer on the bare places and 1 coat of primer on the existing epoxy primer, it's going to be ready to put a final paint.
Still using the same kind of primer.
Yes, we're still using the same exactly primer which we bought from Proline. It's a 2-part epoxy primer, and we are very satisfied with it.
Yep.
And then now the way we design the boat is very easy to get to all the plates, including the bilge, and as you saw, I unscrewed the boards and pulled the boards out, so it was a piece of cake. I can remove the floor say within 10-15 minutes. Okay, so that's it for now.
So that's my first coat of primer, and I'll put another coat on as soon as this dries. Then tomorrow we're going to move down to the lower area, closer to the engine, and do that section. A little bit at a time. So after applying the primer, we're going to put another coat on tomorrow, but just for now we're going to put the floorboards back in.
They are nice 3/4 inch mahogany solid boards.
They're numbered. Hold on.
See it, it's here. Sorry.
push that in there for you?
Good.
Excellent.
Good.
Yes, we were having fun. Lots of fun.
Here is how the plating looks in the bilge. There's a little,
Not bad, not
a
bad.
little discoloration.
Yeah.
There was a little right here. It was a little,
Also a little paint right
rust.
here.
Yeah, a couple places a little rust. We had to beat it, sand it, wipe with acetone, put a primer, and repaint it. This is out there, which we did yesterday.
We'll try to get underneath the engine as best we can.
Nice. Okay, and here's a painter.
Here they're both going. What's that noise? Huh? Hand me another floorboard.
How you doing, Susie?
What?
How you doing? Sanding?
Yeah.
That's good. You're sanding, right?
Working.
Applying a primer. Looking inside our compartment, all nice repainted. This is a steel after over 30 years since we built her, and this is the first time we're repainting the plates. We pull all the insulation out, and next day we will paint the plywood
And finish coat.
Finish coat. After removing insulation, this is how our plating looked. Actually, all the blue you see, it's original primer, so it's actually hard to believe that it's such a good shape after all these years. Here Susan already applied the primers, so it's a nice. She has to have a good mask because it's very toxic to be breathing. So anyway, after lightly sanding it, wipe with the acetone, vacuum first, and now she's applying a coat of primer. So after plating was prepared, cleaned, gently sanded, and put another coat of epoxy primer. Now is the time to go back and reverse what we started. So first we have to put our insulation back. It's a closed cell, 2-inch. I believe it's like a R24 value. So now I'm going to install it back as I pull it out one by one. Nice thing about it is it's put in the panels and it fits perfectly in between the frames. So can be taken out for inspection. Before I took the insulation out, first I marked it, which panel is it and which way is up, so I could put a nice back together. It works really good and looks like it might be working for another God knows how long, but that's too much. So anyway, that's the way you're going to put all the insulation back one by one. So after insulation is in the first frames, here I got now a plastic covering which should go off. Now I'm going to install it. Now I'd like to say something about the insulation. A lot of people with the metal boats tell you it's better to have a spray-on insulation, but just think about it like this here. You will not be able to do this kind of maintenance on a boat with the spray-on insulation, because once you spray it, there is no way to get to it, and if any water or moisture gets behind the insulation and start rusting, you're in a big trouble. So these panels worked very, very well for us, and as you can see, it's unbelievable. And I would say that 95% of primer was just like a brand new, and there is some rust discoloration, and only rust, some rust we found it was by the stringers, but not really on the plating. So it works really good for us. So I would have nothing but to recommend it. And now this panel, now we're going to try to put it in. Let's see how much luck I'm going to have it.
Could it be that he needs Susie's help? You may come help you?
No, no, I don't need the help.
Excellent. That's nice.
Looks like the first panel is done, and that's the way we're planning to do rest of the boat. So to do this here, also underneath it, we've done it in the bilges. It took us 1 week of work, preparation, and it's good for many more years to come. We are very happy what we found it, because everybody says that a boat rusts from inside. So we decided to take on a big job to take all the panelings off, insulation out, and inspect the plating. And so far we have a very good report that everything looks well. So the truth is, what we found out is that a steel boat doesn't last 30 years or 20 years or 50 years, but all depends how well of a job you've done in the very beginning. So if you go and sandblast it inside and outside of your hull to spec 10, what they call in the Navy, and then you put a good epoxy primer, there is no reason why your boat should fall apart after 30 years. As you could see in this video, after 30 years, it really stayed in a hell of a good shape. The primer was totally in a good condition.
So far we finished with the galley area and the salon on the starboard side. We were very happy with the results and our progress so far. And next we'll be just continuing on with the rest of the boat, slowly, piece by piece, and we'll share that with you periodically. And it's been a little bit difficult because we're living on the boat and working at the same time, so we're trying to kind of keep things clean, but it does make it a little bit of a challenge. Okay guys, so that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a comment and a thumb up. And before we leave, we'd like to once again thank all of you that support our channel through Patreon and PayPal. We really appreciate your support. Thank you so much, and we will see you all next time. Bye-bye.